Welcome, everyone, to Night City Stargazers, episode 19. After going home for the night to sleep off the adrenaline and the possible things that may have gone particularly wrong in the previous night, the Edge Runners have found themselves in some need of getting back together, collecting on some funds from Mokako later on this morning, but really just having a good rest. Having a night's sleep to rest and recharge and get their bearings. It's tough, right, Trix? Having to put down someone who was beyond the brink, beyond saving, from cyberpsychosis. The spookiest thing about getting cyberware of any kind. They advertise fashion wear as benign. Doesn't take a mental toll. But when you start swapping out elbows, knees, hands, legs, skin even, before the invention of cyberware, one would consider it an addiction to plastic surgery. But everything is an implant these days, including the little ports on the back of each of your necks. Convenience has a price at times. But sometimes those things also need to be fixed. And perhaps with the advent of cyberware, repairing one's broken limbs, one's flayed open skin, one's missing muscle becomes easier to treat. And thus, Ripper Docs, those convenient, make their money this way. And so, that's where you all, for one reason or another, are headed. Nathaniel Palmer, one of the few ethical Ripper Docs in the city, aside from those that reside within the actual hospitals of Night City. So, you each make your way there in your own time. But who's the first to arrive?
Imagine that would be Trix. She'd head out first thing in the morning, stop by there, check in on him.
Surprisingly, you would find the shop door closed.
Gonna send him a message asking him where he's at.
You get a response shortly after. Why?
Wanted to check in on you. Been a while since I just hung around, you know?
You wait a moment for a response. And as you wait for a few minutes, and the front door of the shop opens. He's a little disheveled. Same clothing he was wearing yesterday. Hair's a mess. Looks a little red in the cheeks.
First thing she's gonna do is just give him a hug.
He just sighs and gently puts his arms around you. Doesn't really squeeze you very hard. A platitude, maybe.
I'm sorry.
Me too. Do you want a drink?
Sure.
I got tequila and vodka.
Whatever you're having.
And he goes into the shop, closes the door behind you. And when he leads you back to his sort of office corner, which is really what it is an office corner with a terminal, and takes out a flask and essentially, the equivalent of like paper cups, and just kind of, because they're about this, 2 or 3 ounces, and he pours you a bit of whatever's in the flask, and a bit for himself. And just shoots his back very quickly.
She does the same. I would ask if you're holding up alright, but you're drinking kind of early in the day. Did you get any sleep last night?
No. Tossing, turning, figured I'd come back, get some work done. Cleaning.
Yeah, we had a rough time too. Last night.
The associates of your friend Requiem came in the night and claimed her body, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, he said they would. He got all that set up.
To be quite honest, it felt a little bit like a shakedown.
I'll have a word with him about that. That should have gone so much smoother.
Don't even bother. So is there some other reason that you're here? Professional?
No. Worried about you.
Worried about me.
You're one of the only people I'm close to in the city. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah. So any of your other friends gonna come knocking on my door too?
Don't know. I can tell them not to if you want me to.
Why not?
You see a small face peeking through a window nearby. Tussle of red hair nearly obscuring it. As Lou attempts to decide whether she's going to knock on the door or not.
Or they can just show up before I have a chance to.
Right. And he goes over towards the door and opens it up, Lou, just as your baby getting ready to knock.
Oh, hey, I saw you inside. I didn't know if you were, I don't know, a private moment having.
Not at all. Not at all. Anyone else? He kind of starts looking down the street in the alleyway.
Nobody came with me.
You know, there's a part of me that understands you want to end up getting everybody in the scene, but I almost want to say no for comedic effect to end up coming in at the worst possible freaking time.
100%, 100%, 100%.
But no, I'll be coming down just to make things easier on you, Coffee.
Either way, whichever way you want to jump into the scene, I'll let you decide when that is. But Lou,
I'll be
walks
coming
away.
down the street. Fine, I'll be coming down the street.
Oh, well, I should just be coming right all in.
Lou says, what's that I smell on your breath? Is that...
Vodka, kid. You're too young.
I'm not too young for vodka. Opening an invitation for myself. Where is it? Where do you have the flask? She starts, like, patting him down.
Jesus. He just pulls it out of his pocket, just hands it to you, and goes back in. Doesn't bother to close the door. Open for business, I guess.
She sits on the counter next to Trix and opens the cap and knocks back a short drink and then closes it and hands it back to Nathan. Thank you very much.
And don't make a habit of it,
Look,
kid.
if we're drinking away our miseries, I'm not going to be unincluded. Thank you.
All right, I guess, did they fill you in, kid?
No,
yeah, I don't know if I'm
haven't.
Roden's your scene partner or what, but
kind of all just went home and mourned. I don't even think Slideye or Rec filled her in.
well, no time like the present.
Lou, if you could maybe take this a little seriously. Turns out, me, Nathan, and Jason all knew that Cyber Psycho we were told to go after. Really well, in fact.
I'm not going to lie, we almost counted on that.
It was more than her just being a nomad. Lou. She was the one who helped me out in Night City. She introduced me to Nathan. I was seeing her for a little while, and then she fucking vanished on us, and now we know why. And there was nothing we could do to help her.
Nathan just pops back another drink from the flask.
I'm sure you tried everything you could.
What options we had, there was no guarantee it would have helped. And I couldn't stand the fact of her suffering through any of it.
She slips down from the counter and kneels on the ground in front of Trix and looks up at her face and puts her hands on her shoulders and says, I know you did as much as you could.
Or in truth, the only thing keeping me from losing it is the fact that we got her home. We got that closure. But even then,
I take it by how torn up Nathan is, it happened here.
if there was anyone I could trust to do it, to help her, to give it to me straight, the odds.
No, I'm not judging
why I
you.
come here.
It's where we've come every time. I mean, it could just as easily have been me, right? You made a good call.
Could have
Both
just
times.
as easily been Slideye. He takes another nip of the flask.
Shit,
Could
was
have
it that
very easily
bad?
been me. Yeah. It wasn't the worst that we've heard of, but it was up there.
Well, they don't always go well. In fact, they go worse more often than not, especially when we're trying to prove ourselves to somebody. Somebody like Wakako, especially. Sorry. I'm sorry it was on your heads.
And then it hit me this morning that the only time I've been by here lately is when there's an emergency of some kind, so just wanted to stop by. Not have it be for anything business-wise or an emergency for once.
Yeah, to tell the truth, I'm only here because I saw you tuck in.
But what if, you know? What if I could have done more? I've done more for others. He looks up at Slideye.
Don't start on that, Nate. Don't start on that. Drive yourself crazy.
That's what I've been thinking about all night.
I'm sure.
Done it before, why couldn't I do it again? She's family. She was family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're going to start wondering at what point could you end. Where was the off ramp? Where was the signs? Where could I have ended up saying no? One less mob plead for a downgrade when they would still listen. You can end up doing that all day. You will constantly end up doing it like as if you're their goddamn keeper. If you wanted to end up controlling somebody's life so badly because you knew better, go corpo. It's easier to do. After all, how many times did you end up running into somebody who ended up getting delusional, thinking that they might be able to do something good with it? Everybody wants the power to end up making other people acquiesce. If only they knew better. If only they... Like as if you can solve it all. And you always look to that thing you could have done. You never stop to ask what she could have done. You never stop to ask, where did they go wrong? You can beat yourself up over it every single time, but in truth, it doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't make you a better person for it. All it does is give you a reason to beat yourself up and second guess. You end up helping a million people and you end up losing your nerve because you lost one.
Doc,
You're looking for...
they haven't yet made eyes that give you foresight.
No. I guess not.
You got 3 people in here you've put back together. And you're losing sight over the one you didn't. The one you couldn't. Am I going to pretend like I haven't ended up thinking about it a lot myself? No. But to hear you like as if this is what it all came down to. Like as if by your hand you became a god to end up changing somebody's stripes, somebody's fate. As if you can make the perfect decision for them because you knew better. And that would have fixed them. Wasn't your call, Doc. You add the mods, you fix the parts, you guide what you can. But if you didn't do it, then what other doc would have even gave it a second look?
I don't know.
Your soul's intact, Nate. Don't you worry about that.
Sure doesn't feel like it.
I think that's something the 2 of us are going to be second guessing for the rest of our lives.
Really? I'm watching 2 people grieve because it got personal. Trix, you exist in a job where he had body counts in the dozens, doesn't even make an eye blink. The flip of a couple of ones and zeros, you can devastate whole levels of lives. And it's not even a conscious thought for you. Now it got personal. It matters. I get it. I get it. World's a lot easier when it's all ones and zeros. And Nate, you put together people and bring back lives by putting together pieces of machinery. And then you end up having one point where you end up losing. And you're wondering what I could have done. But what's the lesson being learned here, really? Is the world going to be suddenly better because you spent hours upon hours saying you could have done something different when you know you couldn't? Coming back is rare. Really rare.
I know. But you did.
Did I? I'm functioning. That's about it.
That's really more than I could have asked for.
Most psychos can't string more than 2 words together. She was able to end up carrying on a conversation. Nuts as she sounded in the end. And I couldn't deny that. The fact that she was talking made me all the way here have a hope. That same hope you are all holding on to, that same feeling. It's Night City.
Yeah.
Who comes out? Who gets to end up keeping on going, and who dies in obscurity? That's what, a coin flip? You think that she didn't get more of a chance than most cyber psychos get? Disabled and brought to a Ripper dock for evaluation. Most just put a bullet in their head and call it a day. So don't end up wondering on what you could have done better, what you could have done more of. Because you already did more than most of the city's ever given. And then you cry about it. That you could have done more. I think that's proof enough that your soul's intact. And it doesn't feel like it, but the fact you're thinking about it at all speaks far more volumes than anything else.
Thanks, I guess.
What am I supposed to end up thinking? I already knew when I signed on for the job, there is an incredible likelihood that somebody's going to put a barrel of a gun to my head and pull the trigger. That I am going to be blown to bits by small arms fire, or maybe a cannon. Hell, if things go really bad with Arasaka, who knows, maybe a orbital strike just to do it. It's not the first time they end up taking out an entire building to get rid of a nuisance. That's what we signed on for. Nomads understood that better than anyone. Gotta go faster. That's what she said. Faster and faster. She got so focused on getting faster, nothing else mattered. Not even the fact that Trix was on the building with us. Not the fact that the person pulling the trigger at her was someone she knew. She didn't want help at that point. She knew to get away and get faster. All circuitry, ones and zeros. Modus operandi. No thought other than rage and fear.
It's what it is
You
in
took
the end.
someone. You took someone like that and you gave him a chance. That's more than most. Chance didn't work out. Fine. No one beats the odds all the time. House wins. House is Night City. Max Tack shows up. If they take you alive, it's not because they're trying to end up doing it right, trying to do right by you.
No.
It's for study, at best.
No, you're right. She could have gotten picked up by Max Tech, and she's lucky. She's lucky you all showed up. She's lucky that a bounty hunter went after her instead of them.
She got lucky and was surrounded by her family. In the end.
I didn't even know it. Well, he takes another swig. I'm not working today, so.
Slideye grabs hold of the flask, unscrews it, takes a long swig, screws on the cap, and tosses it to Trix.
She follows suit. Hands it back to Nathan.
It's about empty at this point, and he just kind of shakes it with what few drops are left in it. Well, cheers.
Look, I'm planning on dragging Jason out for a little bit today. Why don't you join us since you're not working? Get out of the office for a little bit.
And do I look desperate enough to go out?
Is that
No,
a
but figured
rhetorical
it might
question?
be nice.
Sorry, what about being nice, Trix?
I thought it'd be nice if you did.
And maybe it was a rhetorical question.
Now I know where he gets it from.
Besides, it's early in the morning. I haven't slept. No sense in passing out in the middle of the street, drunk. As day drunk as I am now. Kind of hiccups a little bit. So, why don't you all have fun, and I'm gonna catch some sleep.
Really prefer someone to keep an eye on you.
I'm not gonna do anything stupid.
You better not, because otherwise I am bringing you back and killing you myself.
Please. I don't have the nerve.
I'll stop by and check on you again later on. Alright.
If you insist.
The many times you English, please. The amount of times you stop to check in on me. Let me pay you back the favor for once.
Fine.
If I can't get in, well, she'll motion back to Lou. I can just have her pick the lock.
Yeah, I should get those locks changed.
What are your favorite pains in the asses anyway, so...
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah. Count amongst some of my favorites, yep.
Go get some rest.
We'll try. And he kind of ushers the three of you out of the clinic and just kind of sadly smiles and closes the door behind y'all.
Lou sighs and looks up at the sky, the morning sun rising over the hazy yellow, smog-filled atmosphere. Says, "Every soul shall taste death, and only on the day of judgment will you be paid your full recompense." Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So how'd it go for you yesterday, Lou?
Well, I'll tell you all about it.
Hopefully it's good news.
Doodaloo, 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 doodaloo. As we flash back.
So what did you get up to, Lou?
Well, I think it makes sense for me to have gone out to the afterlife and the riot during prime time, trying to track down information about the restructuring, re-hierarchy of the Valentine gang.
Right, exactly. So,
Sam gave me the information that those are some of their hangouts, and we got to follow up on those leads after we did the job for them, and we saw Pedro,
yep,
what is his name?
Padre.
Padre, there it is.
Yes.
The Mystery of Padre.
So, let's see if you had any success in schmoozing some information out of some club goers. So, why don't you give me a persuasion check
Conversation?
or conversation, even.
Oh.
Even.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Conversation? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check my stats and make sure they're juiced appropriately, please. Hubba-bubba. Where's my cool? What's my cool right now? Okay, it's up 1. I am smoking. Where's my smash? Smash. I'm out of smash. Fuck.
You have used a
Okay,
number of
so
smash in the last episode.
okay, so I'm swinging by a convenience store on my way to the shop or to the club because I gotta re-up on some smash.
Okay. And I think a can of smash is relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, let me find it here.
Because it's just kind of a juiced up soda, right?
Well, I think it's like a Four Loko.
Something to that effect, yeah.
Not Atom Smasher, not Smash Hands. Come on, it's gotta be in here somewhere. Smash 10 EB.
Yep. So spend $10 and you can have a can of smash.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to poke you on this because we've been role playing that people will not sell me alcohol.
Yes.
Do I have to like fake ID my way through, bribe my way through, pay extra to get my is this guy gonna just sell to me? Does he not care? Do I have to roll for this?
You've kind of know your way around some things. You know some people who know some
This is
people.
a place where I've been before, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
This in this particular case, I'm not really going to make you roll for it. The $10 is the $10.
Great.
This particular person is someone that you have did the whole wink at before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's
wonderful.
Not really any gatekeeping that this character's doing for me.
Excellent. Love to hear that. Let me make sure my socials are juiced. Human perception, persuasion, conversation. Great. We're happy to rolling conversation.
Ooh.
At the afterlife.
Okay. So kind of talking to some people at the afterlife. Kind of as they're walking in, because the bouncer is a little reluctant to even let you pass the door. You haven't really made a name for yourself in order to be entered into these prestigious walls. Mm-hmm. This basement club is, when kind of staring past the bouncer, though, it kind of looks like everything that you'd want a club to be. It's got music, it's got lights, it's got bartender with a cute girl, you know, the works. But as you're kind of hanging out outside the stairs of this basement, and just kind of overhearing and conversing and kind of blending in a little bit as you kind of hang about, you kind of make yourself look and to feel like you belong here, even though you haven't stepped a single foot in the door. You, with the intention of figuring out what's changed about the Valentinos, maybe strike up a little bit of a conversation about local gangs and just trying to trying not to make it obvious that you're fishing for info, even though you are. Piecing some things together over the course of several hours at the afterlife, hanging out, loitering, as one might call it. You've put together that there's a relatively small shakeup in the hierarchy. That a up-and-comer, much like yourself, goes by the handle Dr. Sparks, has had recently made friends with the Valentinos and may or may not have been there the night that the rearranging, as they're calling it, took place. But that's about as much as you get out of that conversation.
What does this Dr. Sparks fellow look like? Any outstanding features, characteristics?
You're gonna have to convince somebody to divulge that much info.
Okie dokie. Don't mind if I doozle.
Yep, good old persuasion.
Don't mind if I doozle. What am I doing? Why is this looking? Get back in the browser. Our tab took a run for itself.
Oh.
Persuasion.
Ooh.
Awful.
Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's willing to talk that deeply about him. The passing conversation's about all you get at the afterlife.
Yeah, makes sense.
Everybody's wanting to get in the club and get drunk.
Right. I'm just hanging out outside.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been loitering a long time. Can I move on to the next club?
Yep. The riot
Great.
actually has a line. Lots of people want to get in. And
I'm sure they do.
It's a long enough line that if you wait long enough, somebody might actually be willing to usher you in the door. But plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to listen to passing conversation from those who are standing in line. So,
well, I think I have a better idea.
Yeah, what's up?
This club, does it have go-go dancers?
Getting inside the club is going to get past bouncer first.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Are there employees here who dance?
One would assume. The riot is known for having dancers.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'd like to pose as one of the dancers, please.
Oh, okay. That, my dear, I think is going to be an acting role.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that.
You are pretending to be a dancer.
What is my acting role? Low. It's low.
Good luck.
Not good. It's better than my dancing. It's better than my dancing, though, TBF.
Oh, yeah.
Great. We're going with it.
Gotta convince him you're a dancer first.
Let's go ahead and throw... Fuck. 2 luck on this bitch.
Okay. You get some eyebrow quirks. Because how do you come dressed to the riot to pretend to be a dancer?
You know, tank top, booty shorts.
Okay. And are you hanging out by maybe the staff entrance, or are you trying to get in the front door?
I'm a substitute.
Mm.
Like, I'm just here to work tonight. I'm picking up a shift. I'm covering for somebody. That's the story. I don't know anything about like the right door to come in or anything. So I just come up to the front door and talk to the bouncer. If he directs me to another door, for example, I'm happy to go wherever he says.
Okay. He does direct you to a staff door, but that staff door is also locked.
Uh-huh.
So if you would like
I
to
knock on it.
pick a lock or
Oh, well, yeah, I'll do that. That's way better. Yeah, I'll do that. That's
Okay.
better. That's smarter. I'm gonna do that.
Go for it. Lock picking.
Hup, 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 hup. God bless.
Ooh, that's a nice roll.
Good God, I rolled well. Thank God.
Okay.
Same rating as my acting.
Nice. Okay. So you get the lock undone. You slip into the door. It leads you into the dressing room of that's kind of down a hallway from this sort of staff entrance, where you do see a number of dancers who are indeed getting ready for their performances.
I
They're
contain the urge to woo.
very beautiful, very striking, very much seem to be enhanced by some fashion wear mods.
I pull at my collar, like dramatically, and then carry on.
You carry on. Doing two. So you're in the dressing room now. Where are you headed, and where are you going?
I'm really just trying to get into the bar,
Okay, so get to the main stage.
like to be among the patrons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get to the main floor. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't terribly hard because
Cool.
there is a door to get out to the stage, which has a stair down to the down to the main floor. Plenty of dancing, plenty of just plenty of patrons, lots of which are dancing with each other. Music is loud. The bar is being served. Just a number of people also sitting at tables, sitting in couches, just people everywhere.
Great. Can I do another conversation roll now that I'm inside the club?
Sure, the difficulty is going to be a little higher since it is hard to hear in here.
All right.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Ouch.
everyone's busy. They got other shit on their minds.
Not a whole lot to learn from this very loud environment.
Got it. Sure. Okay, so I want to shift my focus from
Okay.
the patrons to the bartender.
Okay.
And I want to find I want to like just post up at the bar, order a drink, sit there and wait until maybe it's died down a little bit, maybe there's a quiet moment,
Okay.
which I know is tough, but I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna bide my time,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try and get the opportunity to get the information out of them.
Okay. So yeah, you spent a few hours at the afterlife, kind of into the later evening, and now are at the riot, kind of late into the evening, somewhere around like 1 or 2
Yeah.
a.m. is when it starts to really kind of slow down. And you start making conversation with the bartender as they're not terribly busy, but they have noticed that you have been here a while.
So yeah, I'm sure you see a lot of Valentinos in here, huh?
From time to time. Any particular reason why?
You hear about this great rearranging that happened the other night?
Make a persuasion check.
Haha.
Oh, wow. What is it with you?
Good gravy.
Good grief.
It's just not my night.
Did my curse pass on to you?
It's
I
the
guess
Derek
so.
dice curse.
Yeah. See, what happens is it goes from Derek to me in this game, but somehow she's got it now.
Mm,
She
Oof.
spits in my drink.
right? Bartender says, not a clue.
You don't say. I put 100 eddies on the bar. I put 200 eddies on the bar,
Okay.
and I say, "Does this freshen your memory?"
Mm.
Sorry, this is kind of a classy establishment. I add 300 to the stack.
So the total is 300?
The total is 5.
Total 5. Okay.
Let's make this a proper bribe.
Okay. Do you have a skill for that? Bribery?
Yup.
Do a bribery roll.
Fucking hell.
Hell
This is
yes.
another failure. I'm gonna kill myself. Okay, great.
In game. With a 21, he takes the 500 in solid and not digital cash
Absolutely.
and kind of slides it into his pocket very sort of swiftly and adept, and comes back to you saying that oh, hang on, my headset completely quit on me.
Oh no, we can hear you. Not that you can hear me confirming that.
Normally it doesn't just quit. Hang on.
Oh no.
Hold,
Poor
please.
Coffee.
Welcome back, everyone, to Night City Stargazers. My headphones are thankfully back. I need to get new ones. But was going to answer Lou's bribery attempt, which rolled really well. And so, Lou, specifically, you're looking for information on the who of what happened? Is that more the goal, or the what, when, why?
Well, she just opened with, have you heard about the rearranging? So, we were in scene, so we can just jump in there if you want to do that real quick.
Yeah.
Does this jog your memory?
There's been a couple of celebratory groups going on in the place.
You see Dr. Sparks around?
Maybe a little.
Yeah? How would a girl like me know him if I saw him?
He's max tack. Or at least he was.
Still wears his uniform? What is he? Got a fetish for it or something?
I don't know. I've seen a couple people wearing goggles around here for trophies.
How do you know he didn't just kill a corpo and...
I don't.
All right. Dr. Sparks. Not much of a doctor, you think, huh?
No, he definitely has a reputation of ripping some people up, if that's what you mean.
Not so much for the putting them back together, though, I bet.
Yeah, come see, come saw.
Yeah. Little here or there, I suppose.
Yep.
But
you didn't hear it from me. And he takes the cash, has put it in
you bet
his
I
pocket.
didn't.
Starts to walk a little bit further away so he doesn't look like he's having a very personal conversation with you.
As I have not been presented with a bill, I'm gonna fuck off.
Alright. In the way you came, out the way you came.
Could go out the front fucking door.
Walking straight past the bouncer.
Absolutely. Does he ask me how nice my shift was?
No.
Great.
It doesn't
I
seem to be
slap him
bothered.
on his arm. I say, "See you later, brother."
He just gives you a strange look. Like he's never seen you before.
Yeah, I walk backwards. I give him one of these. Catch you on the next swing shift.
Pays you no mind.
Big dumb fucking idiot.
Fast forwarding back to the current moment.
And that's how the night went.
You tried.
It's not nothing. Wasn't cheap, but it gives us somewhere to go. I think.
Yeah, say it does. Just one thing
Just
after
someone to-
another.
At least someone to steer clear of. Well, we've got business at Wakako, pachinko parlor. You all want to ride along on that, or?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
Okay.
The three of you hop into the very lovely little truck. Little truck.
You gave me a name.
It's a Thornton brand.
It's a 61 Thornton.
Yep. A 61 Thornton. Little, little old, little clunker, but it does the job. And so, you find yourselves in the good old neighborhood of Jig Jig Street. Which, for the afternoon, isn't all that busy. It's still kind of early into the afternoon, maybe somewhere around noon, before you all decide to walk into the parlor. Well, it looks like you all made it in one piece.
Yes, ma'am.
The issue is taken care of, I imagine.
As requested.
It is.
Well, that's good to hear. Do you have any... Was there any evidence? Or were you talking about disappeared completely?
I eyeball Trix.
Disappeared completely.
Her remains were returned to her family.
Ah, as it should be. I suppose that means that you all are ready and eager for your payment, in that case. And you see that her eyes go that little blue glow, and Lou, with you as the leader of the group and the negotiator, she sends you 6,000 eddies. Well done. Was there?
Is future work available at once, or?
Well, not currently, but I'll keep an ear out for something that is appropriate for your skill set.
And if it's not imprudent, on the matter of your tiger claws.
On the matter of the tiger claws. I've had a look, and the information that you have provided me has been very, very helpful in me determining some very interesting information. So, what is it that you want to know? if anything. I'll read.
If there's any clue on who perhaps hired them on, that would be a great help.
Hired them on to attack that AV you brought to my attention before, yes. Doing a little bit of digging, it seems like one of the I would closer call him a mid-level manager amongst the claws, had received an invitation for a job from a source that has yet to be named, but does look like it has the telltale signs of coming from city center. As far as the call, corporate. Tiger Claw's digging into corporate money is not unheard of when they want to subvert authority, but since that has been found out, this mid-level manager has been since taken care of. You will be pleased to know.
Happy to have brought you this information then, ma'am.
The claws listen to things about my judgment, but they were more doing so out of a bit of a family history, as my husbands were high-ranking members amongst the claws before they passed away.
Can I do a human perception to tell how truthful she's being about her involvement?
Absolutely.
Throwing 2 luck on it.
Oh, yikes.
No,
Some
what
more
is it?
nat ones.
Dare tell me how bad this is.
This is
Oh,
a
good
4.
lord. The base is a 13. How is it a 4? Good lord. Bless me. Put me in the ground. So what do? I just fucking stare at her. Like, I stare at that fucking mole on her face. And I'm like, wow, that's a big fucking mole, huh?
Yeah, you get a... She's hard to read.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
hard to read.
Very hard to read. She's so hard to read. I zoom in too much with my her eyes. I get lost in the sauce. Shake it off. Ugh.
Hopefully that is helpful to you, as I'm aware that you've been investigating this little kerfuffle that was in the news about that AV. It's such a terrible thing to get attacked in the midst of the street.
It coincided with the job we were working. Just want to make sure there's no blowback on our end.
Of course. Of course. And of course, doing the same for me and the boys.
Of course.
Would hate to end up seeing you tied up in unaffiliated loose ends.
Oh, no, of course. I just run a pachinko parlor on the most beautiful street of all of Night City.
Well, we thank you for your time, MacabreDerek.
And thank you for a job well done.
Until then.
I hope you didn't run into any snags.
None that couldn't be handled.
Well, good.
You'll find our professionalism above board and beyond.
That's fantastic to hear. Because some things may require a little bit more discretion the next time around. Until then.
Until then.
Have a nice day, ma'am.
I go for the door before we end up saying anything else that's going to end up implicating us into anything less than professional. As that
we
final
fucking
line
leave.
coming from Amber
We leave.
is suspect, to say the
We
least.
leave. We leave so fast.
Yes, indeed.
Height of professionalism, eh?
And walk out. Yep. Well, you walk out of the pachinko parlor, out into the
Yeah,
rest
she just
of
runs a
Chichik City.
pachinko parlor, sure.
Yep.
We're all lying here today.
And we can't tell.
And no one can tell.
Nobody knows.
It's not obvious on anyone's face, but we all fucking know it.
Absolutely. This is Night City, after all.
It's so good.
So, with that being said, the three of you are now in the very colorful street. What do you do next?
I send 1,500 eddies to everyone.
Okay. Including the Requiem, just so we have that for his notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I should drop that in the notes real quick.
Yeah. Well, given what you know now, what do you do?
I play
Wow.
pachinko.
I mean, you're welcome to.
Got paid by Wakako, now time to give the money back. Only at the cost of small increments of my sanity.
Small increments of 10 eddies.
I don't know anybody who could play pachinko and not slowly lose their mind.
I don't even know how the game's played. All I know it's gambling, so I would just have a...
All
you
you
never,
need to
wa-
know
you
is
never watch You never watch The Price is Right?
You're thinking Plinko. Pachinko's different.
No, it's not.
Isn't it? Oh.
Plinko is pachinko.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah, it's vaguely different, but not really.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Plinko's based on pachinko.
Ah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, that is something to research for a later time.
Oh no, I'm gonna look at it right now.
Suffice it to say, it's gambling. Alright.
I am going to set up an appointment with Justpreet.
Appointment with Justpreet. Alright. Heading off to go and do that now then, unless somebody's got something else to do.
Yep. I'm
Trix.
opening up the door.
Trix is gonna go out and get what was it I said last time? Oh lord.
I mean, you wanted to take Blunder to a bar.
Going to take him to a concert, yes, but she's also going to buy that backup drive.
Ah,
At the same time, she's getting tickets.
yeah. Easily done. Very easily done.
I just had to scroll far enough.
Yep. Backup disk drives and shards can be easily bought. They're sold at just about any store that sells electronics in this world.
Yep.
All
So
right.
she's going to get that, a couple of concert tickets, and probably go home to install the backup drive.
Okay. Easily enough, easily enough. Anything for Lou going forward?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, to give you some
I
time.
can't decide what she should do.
Well, to give you some time to think about it, let's pick up with Slideye. So Slideye, where is it that you meet with your good friend Justpreet?
There's a cemetery just outside of town. It's on a high view where you can end up watching the city almost from afar.
Mm.
High ground. Used to be an old movie or drive-through as a kind of tip of the hat to city's history.
Mm.
It's kind of run down now. But it's just a nice little place just off of the road. It's quiet for the most part. Also gives me a focus on reflection of what we just came from.
All right.
I'm trying to remember offhand. Sorry, I'm looking this up. I'm looking at therapy costs.
That is a good question, because that is a service that can be procured.
That's the service he effectively ends up offering for me, so
yeah.
I'm trying that.
Page 229.
229. Yes. So there's two different ones. The for you, so this would take up a week of your time. So we would be fast forwarding the time frame of most everything by a week, which does give those who need to recover some HP the opportunity to do so, such as Requiem, as well as get his knee repaired, and that's plenty to do. So a week of intensive psychotherapy combining stress and anger management, counseling, hypnosis, and brain reprogramming. You can either do a standard or extreme humanity loss treatment. Standard is 500, extreme is 1,000 euro dollars.
And yeah, I'm just taking a look here. 2d6.
So you're doing the standard?
I'm just taking a look. I'm just taking a look at what's available.
Yep. Standard
and what are the odds?
Yeah, standard would be regain 2d6 of.
I'll do extreme.
Okay, and extreme is 46. Okay, so that would again fast forward the time about a week, and humanity cannot be fully regained without the removal of cyberware. Each piece of cyberware will decrease your maximum by 2. Each piece of Borgware lowers maximum humanity by 4. Cyberware with 0 humanity loss on installation does not decrease your maximum humanity. Okay, so go ahead. 1,000 eddies and 46 humanity regained up to your current maximum. Ooh, that's 3 sixes in there.
Okay, so that
21 points up to your current maximum.
Yeah. Okay, I will definitely end up taking that. I'll definitely take that.
That is That is some fantastic recovery.
This is why I keep Just Beat around.
And his methods maybe don't lean into much in the way of the use of technology, but he does a lot of mental refocusing, a lot of cognitive behavioral. He does a lot of, doing what he can to do so, kind of in a way that doesn't really require him to use any cyberware of any kind, as that is the source of your troubles to begin with. So he really kind of leans into more like the mental stuff as well as medications to help your brain to recover from the stress of your cyberware, which in this particular case is a very intensive sort of getaway. You get away from Night City for a little while, kind of roaming the streets with him again for a brief period of time. What kind of scrub brush nature there is surrounding yourself by it, kind of doing guided meditations and things like that to really kind of hone you in on your presence of self, and you definitely feel more connected with your personship rather than your machineship after this week of just being with yourself and him. Which kind of, leaves you feeling kind of good after the whole thing.
It's a lot of long conversations.
Lots of them.
A lot of reflection on what I end up saying to Nate. A lot of looking at how everybody else reacts. Feels like no matter what you end up saying, it's going to end up coming back on you. You do the best you can. That part wasn't wrong. But I'm trying to keep reconnected. Trying to keep tip-top. It's the price you pay. It's like the more you end up diving in, the more you get chipped, the more you want to Borg out. The more you got to be careful. The more upkeep it costs.
Indeed.
How far are you willing to push it? That's the question, really. I'm just... These sessions. I'm curious on how many others are taking very similar additives. By comparison, I'm well adjusted. But I've seen them. Looking forward to getting chipped in, and I'm simultaneously disgusted and excited every time I flip through the newest deals, new piece of tech coming in. I have flashbacks, really, when I think about it. Back when I wasn't called Slideye. Back when it really mattered. And the decisions I made. Maybe that was just me projecting when I was off at Nate's, but it's hard to trust yourself and trust people. Night City doesn't make that easy at all.
But
I
you trust me.
wonder if that's a mistake sometimes.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The only thing you have to go on is that I am a man who has never experienced cyberware in all of my life. By choice.
I guess that's the important part. It's choice. To me, it's... What can I get added in? What more can I do to make sure I'm doing my job? If I do my job well... If I do my job well, then people live. Even the bad guys. You can put a stop to it pretty quick before it escalates. The people who are caught in the crossfire, you can act quick enough to give some of them a fighting chance before it all goes to hell. But that's justification. And I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how to gauge it. If I'm doing it to be better at my job for the right reasons, or if I'm doing it because
You're an addict.
Yeah. Not to put too fine a point on it, just but when I look at my crew, I gotta be cold. I gotta be distant.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are they simply co-workers, or are they becoming your friends?
I don't think I would go so far as to call them friends. It's...
Friends do a lot of good for keeping you connected.
I got a kid who's making life and death decisions. Who has the temperament of her age. I have a road warrior who spends almost as much time on the net as they do on the road, either way they're running. And now I got to work with a scav who, when I hear him talk, it's all the justified means. And I hear the excuses I make coming out of his mouth.
I did not say they were smart friends.
Is there anybody who's smart in Night City? All the smart ones ducked out.
All of the smart ones live in their towers.
No. They just want you to think they're smart.
Yeah, possibly. We can never truly know. We can only make assumptions about those we do not know. And we can only know those whom we have shed our assumptions about. Truly become friends. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that you have to be friends with your crew, but perhaps it would be nice to reconnect with someone. Especially someone who might need reconnecting themselves. Or maybe their groundedness in their own soul guides you to knowing how it is to reconnect with your own. Meditations and therapies can only help you so much, and you have done a lot to come so far from where you were.
Wow.
Going from a
Shock
barely
tape.
speaking woman and now...
Yeah, well, shock tables only do so much.
Perhaps. Maybe an old friend needs you now.
Let's just be. She stands up. Guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Indeed.
She bows a little bit.
And he gives
Thank you.
a very respectful bow as well.
I start to walk down the road,
Mm.
signaling for a cab. Waiting at that old bus stop right by the movie theater that looks like they haven't swapped the glass out in 20 years.
Mm.
Probably more breaks and with the, the kind where the posters are the only thing holding the plexiglass together.
Mm. Indeed.
I'm waiting for a ride before I dial up Nate.
Yeah. He says on the phone.
What's up, Doc? I think I still owe you for the flask. Figure I'd stop by for a top-up if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Haven't seen you in a week. Be good to see your face.
Yeah, I imagine. I'm just... I'll tell you when we get there.
I'll be here. And he hangs up the line, waiting for you to arrive. Trix, are you getting up to anything? Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm just double checking. I'm spending the 20 entities on a bottle of vodka at this point.
Fantastic.
Trix was going to get tickets for a concert for her and Jason.
Okay. Tickets to an indie band.
Yep.
A Night City original, still doing bars, like dive bars, in the in the streets of Night City. Glorified busking. That's really what it is.
Yeah, it's something. It's not sitting around the apartment moping or connected to the net.
It's true. Staying a little disconnected.
Something fun. Yep.
But is that all you're really getting up to for a week?
Just go and try and spend time with him.
Okay. Spending a good deal of time with him.
Yep.
Did Lou figure out what she was doing this week?
Yep.
Okay. Before we get back to Slideye, what is Lou up to?
She's getting chromed.
Getting chromed. What you chroming?
Well, we're gonna get some cyber audio.
Okay. What kind of cyber audio?
Well, the suite is 500, and it comes with 3 option slots.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the voice stress analyzer, which gives me a bonus to human perception and interrogation checks.
Very nice.
We'll do amplified hearing
Fantastic.
with +2 to perception for checks involving hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And for
Now-
the third one, go ahead.
Now keep in mind that you do have to do a humanity roll for each of the foundational and each of the
you betcha.
Option slots that you're taking.
Oh, you betcha. Yeah, she went through this when she had her eyes done. She's fully aware of this.
Oh yeah.
I'm also just real quick. Just checking something here real quick. Artificial each cyber eye has 3. Okay, so it doesn't say the same thing there. There's no problem there. So on cyber audio it says has 3 option slots. Cannot install more than 1. What does that mean?
Oh, as in you have one
Oh,
cyber audio
you can have
suite?
more than 1 cyber audio suite. Never mind. Okay,
Right.
I got it. That makes sense.
Unlike your eyes, which come in a pair, and you have slots for each one.
Right.
Or like your arms and have slots for each one. Cyber audio is one
only.
Yeah, one only foundational. Whereas arms
Well, and
is
like
2.
the Borgware lets you get extra eyes as well. You can't get extra ears.
Right.
That's not an option.
Nope.
You have 1 brain, so that's not an option.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna go with a third option. Well, fuck me. I may as well do it while we're in here. We're gonna go with homing tracer.
Homing tracer.
Yeah, can follow a linked tracer up to a mile away.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's going to be 1d6 in half. The cyber audio is 2d6. The amplified hearing is 1. So is the voice stress. The homing tracer is 1d6 in half.
1d6 divided by 2. Okay.
Correct. I was also looking at a really fun one that might be fun down the road, but I think I want it now because I just kind of want to fucking fuck my brain up.
Lou's going down that cyber psychopath, y'all.
Well, I did it once, and I'll do it again. I understand the cycle now. You know, you do self-harm, and then you do self-healing, and then you do self-harm. And it's fine, and it's cool, and it's a good system. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get the... Oh, shoot, where is it? That's audio. That's visual. The chemical analyzer.
Chemical analyzer. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
And,
It is
that an option?
chipware.
Okay. So it's a chip that you install?
Uh-huh. It's 500 EB. It's 1d6 humanity loss.
And the foundation for that is, like,
Well, the neural link that we all
Neuralink.
have
Neuralink. Okay.
that you gave us for free at the jump.
Yep. Just wanted to make sure.
Thank you
Neuralink
very
you already
much for
have,
that
you
as
just put a
well.
chip in. Yep.
Correct.
Alright.
For flavor, I'm gonna make it built through her nose.
Ooh, she can sniff them out.
It goes with the wolf thing.
Yep. Kind of
So
leaning
let's
into the
get
sniffer
rolling.
dog sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So roll each one individually, so that we can
do
each one at a time.
Let's do. Okay. 2d6.
Okay. So
Private.
you've got 8 for your foundational for the cyber audio.
Cyber audio. Fuck me.
Yep, she's taking a pretty big hit on that humanity there.
Yes, she is. This one's in half, so that's just 2.
Yep.
And then, last but not least, another 5.
Ooh. What is your current humanity score versus your maximum?
It's actually pretty low because I got therapy last session.
Uh-huh.
So I'm doing okay. So I'm gonna add 23. Let me go to my character sheet and I'll tell you exactly where we're at.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just sitting here doing the math and I was like, do I want to do therapy again? No. So 16 plus 23 is 39. And that puts me at 2.
Wow.
Which I think legally makes me cyberpsychotic.
Once you hit 0, is
it 0?
0 is when the character is no longer a playable character.
Right. Yeah, but I think 2 is when I start to get all fucked up.
You do start to lose absolute touch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Thankfully, she's been here before.
So think of it kind of this way. You may be a living, breathing human being at this moment, but you come off as if you're a walking corpse.
Brutal. Yeah, equal to 2, borderline dissociative identity disorder.
So you will have frequent jumps where you are acting erratic. For no reason. As if you had, like I said, as if you had DID.
I already know how to play this.
Okay. Damn.
Jesus.
Some brutal humanity slips going on for Lou right now, and she's only 17 years old.
She took a big hit.
Damn.
She did.
Yep. I don't
That
know.
was a big one. She shouldn't have taken such a big hit.
Yeah.
And she's had plenty of warnings.
And to be fair, at this particular point, obviously the doctors who are administering this may or may not have the sort of ethical code that Nathan has. Nathan may not even be the Ripper doc you're going to. You're maybe jumping
He's definitely
dock to dock.
not in his current situation. Yeah.
Yeah, you're jumping dock to dock to get every little thing installed one at a time from multiple doctors. each one not knowing 100% what it is that you came in with and what it is that that someone else had chipped into you before.
Yep.
And so, over the course of a week, you jump from doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor. Each one maybe on the shadier side on purpose. Because there's no way in fucking hell that Nathan would have let this happen.
Not after what he just saw.
Nope. No way in fucking hell. And so, we come back to Lou, and what do we find Lou doing after having been chipped in with all of this new hardware?
She's on what's the name of the damn mega building she lives in?
It's just Mega Building like 8 or something like that.
Haywood.
Yes. In Haywood, the Haywood district.
Yeah, Haywood district, yeah. So she's standing on top of the mega building. Just seeing and hearing like the cacophony of every sound and every sight, and like AVs are like whipping past her. Like her perception is that like they're like zooming right past her head, and in her ability to hear them at distance, it's like they're right next to her. And she's just lost in this absolute sea of perception. Just standing at the absolute precipice of the edge of the roof, coat flapping in the wind, arms absolutely akimbo. Huge grin on her face. She's gonna take a hit of blue glass. Because of course she is.
Okay.
I have to roll
for an addiction check. Yep.
Yeah.
That's I believe a DV 15 on your resist drugs.
Torture and drugs. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my last 2 luck at this one.
Okay.
As bad as I've been rolling this session. I'll go ahead and get hooked on blue glass.
Okay. So you pass.
Oh, thank God.
Not addicted. Primary effect, the GM will occasionally tell you when you are flashing out, meaning that you are hallucinating swirls of vibrant colors in short and powerful bursts. You lose your ability to do an action for the turn in this state. While addicted, the GM will... Okay. So.
Yeah, so she's just hallucinating. She's having all these external stimuli. This swirling perception is like turning into visual stimuli as well.
There's definitely the... Oh, I forget the word for it. But the seeing colors sort of effect. The seeing sounds sort of
hallucinations.
Effect. Definitely. Hallucinating vibrant colors, but they're beautiful.
She She says, Munkar, Nakir, is my soul still wanting?
And in maybe a hallucinative state, maybe an actual reach out of whatever it is that you're calling out to. Be free. Maybe it's your own voice, maybe it's something calling to you, maybe it's some distorted sort of mechanical malfunction of your new cyberware. Or hallucination. Lord knows that you're buzzed out of your mind. Which I think is also a great...
She drops to her knees, laughing and crying at the same time.
Which I think is a great place for us to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll come back to Slideye and see if there's anything else that happens for Lou. Now that there's been a very big hit to her humanity, her soul. So be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to Night City Stargazers. Trix has gone out of her way to see a concert. A concert of a couple of indie bands that are barely making it out of the streets, playing in a dive bar somewhere in the midst of Night City. She's obviously invited her roommate and friend, Jason Palmer, whom she has affectionately nicknamed Blunder, but ordered 4 tickets and sent a pair to Nate, Jason's father, their Ripperdoc friend, to bring a friend and live a little. So, Trix, you and Jason are standing in the midst of the dance floor enjoying the rock beats of the underground androids. To kind of play into that sort of android sort of look, the band members have each taken on a bit of fashion wear chrome in the very, very shiny metal sort of a look. But it's not really any cyberware to speak of. But the aesthetic is solid. Their sound, pretty good. And it's a good time, all in all. The drinks at the bar are overpriced. The crowd seems to be enjoying the performance of the band as well. And during some kind of intermission and lull in the playing, the sort of stock music of the bar starts to play once more as the band members are given a break for a moment. So what do you do?
Imagine she and Jason are heading back to the bar to sit down for a little bit.
Jason orders you both a couple of drinks.
Now, aren't you glad I dragged you out?
Well, sometimes the apartment gets a little stuffy.
Yeah, stuffy.
Well, what can I say? You blow a lot of hot air.
More ways than one.
Band's decent. Where'd you hear about these guys?
I was just walking by here and saw the poster. Sounded fun, so why not?
Surprised they were selling tickets and not just taking in anybody who was just off the street.
Surprised me too, but, well, gotta make a living somehow.
That is true. Making a living is, well, tough for a rocker boy, I guess.
I don't regret buying them. They're actually pretty decent.
Pretty good fun, all in all. He takes a sip of his drink. So why not take one of your other friends instead of me? I mean, this seems like it would be like Right up the... What was that kid's name? Lou? Right up her alley, maybe?
Well, I figured we could treat this like a little date.
I mean, there's that. Yes.
She's going to lean over and kiss his cheek.
He kind of smiles. You see him blush just a little bit. So we hitting the noodle cart for dinner afterwards? What are we talking about?
Oh, that's what you want.
Well...
Figure we could find someplace a little bit better around here.
Yeah. Or we could grab a pie from Buck a Slice.
That actually sounds like a decent idea.
Your toppings of choice, my lady.
You know what surprised me this time? Your tastes are weird, but I'm going to trust you.
People swear by A&A.
Yeah?
I haven't tried their artichoke and anchovy, so I really couldn't say.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
See what other trouble we can get into. Glad you agreed to come out, though.
Yeah, me too.
She's just leaning against him a little bit. Maybe a little tipsy, but...
He's taking another swig of his drink. You know, I think Ariel would have liked this band.
I think she would have too. Seems up her alley.
You know, she always struck me as the type who would like a grungy band. But she dressed in the aesthetic that was a little more sleek.
God, what was that band she used to listen to all the time?
Oh god, your guess is as good as mine. Could never keep track of her playlist. She was always changing it.
She had a playlist for, like, every little thing she was getting into.
For all of her moods, really.
Mm-hmm. Good part of that was we could always tell what mood she was in.
Because they were all labeled. This is me when I'm angry. This is me when I'm sad. This is me when I'm happy.
There's always that one song that stuck out on each one. Dead giveaway whenever you entered the room with it.
If she was playing on loudspeaker. If she was just listening to, personal radio. Couldn't hardly tell. But if it was on the actual speakers of the radio in the room, and it was loud, she intended for everyone to know.
I don't think we ever heard anything about her anger playlist, come to think of it.
You're probably right.
God, I wouldn't give to go back to those days.
Yeah. It's too bad. She was...
Still have each other, though.
Yeah. She was always kind of obsessive, though.
Yeah.
Think we could have saw it coming?
I think maybe we could have at some point. But I think she knew just how to hide it around us.
Yeah, maybe. Completely oblivious me.
I'm not much better.
Well, with both of us being, the type to go nose deep into the net, you kind of lose sight of the real world.
Yeah, that's something that slaps me in the face all the time.
Kind of where
I think
I've
I'd
been
be better
hiding.
at it by now.
Kind of where I've been hiding all week.
Yeah, I've had a fight to get you out of it too.
Look, I was getting to a good part in that that fantasy MMO.
I still don't see what you see in those games.
Other netheads?
Alright, you know what? You let me drag you out, I will let you drag me into one of them.
I don't know. Do you think you could handle it?
If I can handle my head being set on fire damn near every job, I'm pretty sure I can handle one of those.
All you need is a net connection and a brain dance wreath, and that's it.
Well, I'm going to dust mine off then.
Alright. New
She's
ventures.
gonna finish her drink.
He
Yep.
does too.
About that time, I imagine the band's coming back and she's dragging him back out into the dance floor.
Let's just see how impressive your dance skills are, Trix. Roll me a dance check.
You know what? I'm going to use all 3 luck because I don't trust my dice rolls tonight. After watching what happened with Lou.
Lou's been rolling nat ones all night, so...
Yeah. 13.
Yeah. Passable.
Passable, not the worst.
You have some passable dance skills, whereas Jason is a little less than passable. As much time as he spends watching videos or things of that sort, he hasn't absorbed any of it into his own usage. Man has 2 left feet.
2 left feet, awkward as fuck.
Just the way you like them.
Apparently, that's her type.
Yep. Absolutely.
What does that mean? I shall seduce you with my awkwardness?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
That is
absolutely the vibes I'm getting here.
Yep. But they'll likely spend a couple hours there until near end of the show and then take off.
Halfway through that, a band called Gizmo does take the stage. A little bit of an Us Cracks knockoff. They're very cute, very bubbly, very happy, and just a very strange vibe compared to the underground androids. They're more of a let's turn some 60s laser pop back into fashion, and maybe not doing that great of a job of it. And so There may be the one to skip out of this whole thing, as
Yeah.
it seems that for Trix and Jason, the Gizmo sound is not their vibe.
Nope. Like, well, we'll give them a shot for like maybe one song. Halfway through the song, you just look at each other, shake their heads, and leave.
Nope.
Nope.
Complete scop.
We gave them a shot. Yeah. Gave them a shot. They disappointed. That's on them.
Fair enough. Headed anywhere specific? Anywhere fun?
Probably just pick up food and heading home.
Okay. Other attendees of this particular set of bands were Slideye and Nate, somewhere else in the venue. But upon finding out that there's some rather questionable cover band of laser pop from the 60s, maybe that's not Slideye or Nate's vibe either, who both make their way to the roof for a little bit more of a quiet atmosphere, just listening to the sounds of the city. Nate having brought his flask, again full of a spirit of some kind. Hands it over to you, Slideye.
Thanks. I take a swig and just kind of listen. My eyes are darting around, just kind of taking in the sight. Still got to end up giving you your refill, though.
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Hey, my mechanic takes care of me. I take care of my mechanic.
Still insist on calling me a mechanic.
It's nostalgia.
Nostalgia, huh?
Yeah, it goes back to my first Ripper Doc.
Tell me about
Dad
this
always...
Ripper Doc.
I saw him 3 times. I think I just turned 16. And Dad always kept making jokes about him because, you know what I'm saying, if you're not careful, you'll be more AV than a little girl by the time it's done. All right, let's take you to your mechanic.
It's kind of adorable.
Yeah. I take a swig. Kind of rest in my chair, leaning forward. It also makes it easier. Yeah. It gives me the reality of my situation. I've been spending a lot of time with, well, trying to get leveled out. Doing a lot of thinking about what you all went through.
He pulls out a smoke and lights it up.
I reach into my bag and pull out bottle of vodka, Axe Head vodka.
Mm.
Hand it over to, or gesture, or hand it towards him. Trade you for a smoke.
That'll get you a lot more than a smoke. He passes you his cigarette case.
Take one for now. Light it up. Just kind of let the smoke waft off of it. And watch it get caught in the breeze. Watch it dance as it flutters away.
Keep in touch with your old man.
No. No, I don't. I don't think I have the heart to visit his grave. It was another life, Nate. It's another life.
Yeah. Sorry.
What?
I don't know. Memories. Good ones, bad ones, whatever happens.
Good ones, bad ones, it's all the same. It's a memory. I mean, let's be real here. If it bothered me so much, I could just have that part clipped right out. Memory manipulation isn't exactly an unknown anymore. People have so much circuitry going into the back of their skull that you gotta wonder what's left of the meat case.
Never been a fan of that myself. I don't know, something about loading all your memories onto a chip to be accessed later.
It has its uses and it's got its backfires.
It's a degree of separation. I make modifications to people all day, every day, and I don't know, just something about that just rubs me the wrong way. Don't know that I could ever go the full, like if they ever came out with the technology to actually load your memory into a chip and forever be logged somewhere. Don't know I could do that.
Well, somebody would.
Somebody would.
I guess I can be glad it's not you.
I like to keep my brain in my meat space, thank you very much. What about you? They ever made something like that? You think you'd do it?
I don't know. I'm reminded of way back, the idea of the opium den. The idea that you just sit there huffing on a pipe and lose track of time, forget to eat, forget to drink, just waste away one puff at a time. I imagine it's very much the same thing. No, I'm thinking about the concert. You have a good time?
Yeah. The what was it? The underground androids. Little gimmicky, but a good sound. Laser pop, never been my thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine so. And again, I've always been more tainted overlord myself.
Tainted Overlord. Isn't that a little heavy metal?
A little bit. Not like you're finding it on Ritual too often, but... No, I was just thinking about it. Watching how people moved and watching how it moves people. I feel like I'm behind a glass case when I'm watching these things, right? You want to be a part of it. You can do the actions, you can do the movements, but you're not there. You're not really there.
I think the idea is that music is meant to sort of evoke an emotion. It's an art, much like any other art form. A sculptor will sculpt, a painter will paint, a musician will play, and it's meant to evoke something. Now, if you're an original, and you can strike up this sort of emotions that you are aiming to in a person, then you're successful, and you're doing what you set out to do. There's plenty of wannabe artists here in Night City, but the ones that truly resonate with people, they're the ones that I don't know that many of them find themselves on any of the stations aside from the indie stations.
Pirate radio. The more things change, the more they stay the same. To me, I don't know. I was thinking about the last time I was that happy. Lost in it. And for some odd reason, every time I think it, there's always a Ripper Doc involved.
I mean, had I been up there a couple times myself, if you recall.
Yeah, but it wasn't quite like that. I mean... New mod comes out. And me and the rest of the crew are geeking out. Like, we are high schoolers seeing the new scrolls come out. And just picking and choosing and what would you get done, and just thinking about what we were getting ready to do. It could be as simple as fashion wear implants. It could be something a little bit heavier, something that was a little faster. Now I look at it and I'm going, what's the next piece of tech I need for the job? And I'm almost scared to admit that's when I'm most happy. I was looking for that next upgrade. Jujube ended up having to send Devastan.
I remember that.
And I remember the only thing I wanted to do was just take that implant and get it fixed in. Really wanted that, Sandy. And then I think about how I can end up getting evened out. Then I'm thinking about new muscle enhancements, secondary weaponry. Started thinking about a shoulder cannon, even. And I just realized I was almost starting to get excited. And I stopped. Because the second I realized I was smiling at the prospect, the second I was wanting to do it, not even for the job, just because I got to end up getting something new done. I don't know, it was just felt wrong. I'm kind of curious if I'm even allowed to be happy anymore. Is every time I do get happy, it's because I'm carving something away. She flicks off the butt off of the balcony, just letting it land in the puddles below.
It doesn't have to be that way. You can be happy for other reasons.
It's not a choice, it's a feeling, right? It's...
Right.
And I don't feel it, Nathan. I don't feel it. I just observe it. It's not real to me until it's being carved in, chipped in, upgraded. And it's real. It's tangible. It's like I'm allowed to be free. And I gotta calm myself down. I gotta stop myself from doing it because I want to be
I want to be free. I want to be happy. I want to just be content with just existing.
I can take the eds I have right now, probably live out the next few years on my own in a very short period of time, and I realize that all I can think about is, what would I get upgraded next? What can I boost next? How do I get a little faster? She was right when she said I'm just like her. And then I guess you can call it survivor's guilt. What made me so goddamn special? And then I realize I'm not. I just got lucky. But that means somebody put a chance out on me. Somebody gave me a chance and knew that it probably wasn't going to work. Then it did. And then I got downgraded. I got slipped down to skeleton wear and a bit of cosmetics.
Do you hate me for it?
No. I just don't know on what's right or wrong right now. If I get chipped in more, you'll resent me and it's undoing the work you did. I don't get chipped in more, then I'm Walking Dead. The only thing that makes me excited is knowing that I am going to make myself better. That's fucked, isn't it?
Yeah, that definitely sounds like there's a lot to unpack there.
Well,
I'm no psychiatrist, but
who knows?
self-confidence issues may be the root. I don't know.
Confidence. No. We're just talking reaction to stimuli. She grabs hold of another bottle of vodka, the second one she brought, and cracks it open.
He takes a
Takes
drink.
a long swig.
And he's taking long swigs of the one he's drinking.
I watch Trix. I watch Loup. And they can be allowed to be happy. They allow themselves to be happy. But when I feel that, it's because I know I'm undoing the only chance that I was given. That leads to a whole lot of complexes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. Kind of a weird, not allowing yourself sort of this and that. I'm too drunk for philosophical discussions. Or psychological discussions, I mean.
She takes a drink.
All I know is that I get it. Because I'm right there with you.
I know. She looks at her hand, and rather than that quick motion that's usually done, she just watches as her hand dislocates and slides down a bit. Goes almost limp as her forearm opens up very, very slowly, and almost like the blade is just coming out, more like a flower blooming than a quick reflex.
Damn, I make beautiful work.
I don't know. Everybody's just.
What?
I'm thinking that. I'm always trying to be proper. I'm always trying to be the professional. Mrs. Serious.
Why so serious?
Because if I'm not, people die.
Boy, do I get that too.
I know you do.
Two peas
I'm
in a
not
pot.
like I'm not like she closes her arm up and brings it back to normal. I'm not like Loup. I when I was a kid,
Mm.
first bit of chrome I had was a skin job for an arm, and we ended up making a hollow sleeve out of it. And it looks so cool. Now I would have ended up spending all day with markers trying to do something with it. Kind of like you do on the back of your PDA when you're first going to school.
PDAs. Man. We're both old.
Nah. Well, I'm a skin job, right? I don't have to end up telling everything. But now I try and keep everything manufacturer standard. I wouldn't draw like something stupid on the hip, the edge, or on the outerwear because I'm afraid it's going to rust up or damage the casing. I'm worried that a bit of oil will ruin the whole finish or something like that. Like
Look, if you want a hollow tattoo, I could install one. That is not an issue. It could be whatever the fuck you want. Plaster my name on your arm or something.
just
Nathaniel Palmer. The big old heart, like they do with mom tattoos.
put the little arrow through it. I'm
Look,
not.
just because I'm a ripper doesn't mean that I can't install hollow tattoos for the dumbest shit that fuckers want.
I know, but I'm.
The number of Valentino tattoos I've done, you'd be surprised.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I know. What were we talking about again?
Tattoos.
Right.
If you can get your hollow sleeve back, what would you start with? Or anywhere.
I want to climb.
You want to what?
I want to climb.
Climb?
Right to the top of Arasaka Tower. That would be so cool.
It's easier to get up there with a chopper.
I have one. She extends her mantis blade.
Not that kind of chopper, silly.
Same difference. It would just be nice to see the world from Dad's office again.
I forgot for a second that your dad was Arasaka.
Legacy hire. Hi.
If you had stayed up on that tower, we would have never met. I'm on the street and you're high in the heavens and being the angel that is Arasaka's princess.
I don't want to be that anymore. I hate the fact that I gotta be reminded of that.
Well, don't be
It's better to be
Arasaka's.
Slideye.
Don't be
It's better to be
Arasaka's princess.
Slideye. It's better to be a Slideye. Slideye, everybody, at least. A little bit scary, a little bit crazy, way too serious. It's easier to be her.
I like Francesca. I think she's great. She wants to climb towers.
And Aunt finds out, and then she comes down with the hammer. And
Fuck her.
you don't want to say that. You don't want to say that.
Nah.
You get swapped out by counter intel immediately.
Well, fuck her anyway. Climb the damn tower if we want to. Hell, I'll go with you.
Princess is in tower, her surrounded by dragons.
Trix keeps telling me I need to live a little.
Well, get me a chopper then.
Okay. First, I gotta know somebody who's got a chopper. That's willing.
You got the same model. I gotta even out. You can put hearts on this one, okay? I think that's a good place to call it there.
Yeah. Yeah, good place to call the session for tonight. Thank you guys so much for playing.
Okay, note, we need to get Slideye drunk around Trix and see what happens.
Look, it's cute.
Ah, it is.
It's cute when she drunk. But yeah, thank you guys so much
I'm
for
not
playing.
gonna lie, I'm imagining like if it wasn't for the fact that it's like, okay, well, we don't have the time to end doing the healing, and of having her like suddenly wake up and yeah, she's got the other one, except the other one's like all tricked out and all punked out. just while her and Nathan are trying to figure out, like, is sitting there with a fucking Sharpie pen, doing like tagging it and all this.
Right.
Looks perfectly fine when it's not out. All of a sudden comes out. Here's one sleek Arasaka blade on one hand. The other one looks like it came out of Maelstrom.
Look, it's fine if it's mismatched.
It's a glammed out Maelstrom. What the fuck?
Right?
Is that thing bejeweled? Yes.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions. We had fun.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you so guys so much for for playing. That's even though CJ's internet kind of crapped out on us at the beginning.
Oh no, it wasn't just his internet; it was his entire power.
Holy balls! Well,
yeah, the storms that knocked out my net for like 30 minutes knocked his power out.
Oh yeah, because he's got some unstable power. That's okay. It happens from time to time. Even my apartment gets a little flickery with the wind, so it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so let's chit-chat about some improvement points for our lovely Edrunners. So, I think we've got some things to talk about when it comes to our playstyle improvement point table. So, as a group, how do y'all feel that you did regarding your mission, whatever it would be today? Think you did pretty well? Think you did pretty Think you did not much at all?
I think we did pretty well because I think most of the session was just personal plot points.
That's true. There's a lot of that. Definitely a lot of that. Which is kind of how I aimed the session anyway, yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be, worth... I think that'll be worth 10 points. So let's talk about the individual, roleplay prompts when it comes to the different play styles. So, who was the warrior? Used their skills, maybe not from combat, but maybe other skills, to a certain degree.
This isn't even a question, man. This isn't even a question.
Loup.
You and I both know it. That's going Loup.
Yeah, that's going Loup. Look, Lou needs something for all the fails she had.
Look, there's even an appropriate description in this particular box that says used combat skills often, even if it was not to exceptional effectiveness. 10 points for Lou.
I posed as a go-go dancer, goddammit.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Tank top, booty shorts, and go-go boots. Impossible. The laser pop fad. It's a real thing.
I deserve better than this.
So who was the socializer? Kind of supportive and helpful to the party.
Slideye.
No, I gotta give that to Trix.
There's some contention.
I gotta give that to Trix.
Well, points for Trix for concert tickets. Points for Slideye for the, really great dialogues with Nathan. I'm not settling this conversation well. You both voted for each other, and then I voted for both of you. It comes down to coffee, I guess.
Madam, you're the deciding factor.
Fucking fuck. Fucker. Fucking, it's Trix.
Trix.
It's Trix.
Trix, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a 10 points for Trix. Was a supportive and helpful part of the party in and out of game. Explorer, the person who was adventuring and or interacting with the world today.
Lou.
We got two votes.
The attempted go-go dancer.
I took them all on.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yep. Unanimous for Lou. All right.
I'm having a bit of a break fart. Yeah. How much do we end up getting for showing up? Hey, again, that was
That was
25?
that was the 10.
It was
That
10
was the
today.
Yeah.
10.
Just
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good. I realized I was like, I had a brain fart. Okay.
You did. So, Lou, I think with it being unanimous, you attempted to investigate and explore the world or situation often, even if it wasn't to exceptional effect.
No, hang on a second. I think I had exceptional effect. I learned about Dr. Sparks. I learned all about him and his fucking business. What more information was there to be fucking had about that?
No, I guess you're you're right. You're right.
Thank you very much.
20
Just because
points.
I rolled poorly does not mean that I failed. I threw everything I fucking had at that. That cost me $500 fucking dollars. I better get fucking more points than that.
20
I
points.
literally put money into that. I paid for those points. God damn it!
Okay. Twisting my
Enough
arm.
kvetching.
You got your 20. You got your
Slide,
20.
I got audience vote.
Yep. Slideye, you're the audience vote.
Oh yeah.
10 points for you.
Oh yeah.
Yay.
And the star role player today.
Slideye.
For a good scene, a good line. I see
The
some nods.
entire end scene.
Yep.
The entire
Absolutely.
end scene with Nate.
Drunk Nate and drunk Slideye.
Yep.
good.
A very good scene.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter how I vote. No.
I mean, you could
Exactly.
honorable mention if you want. I'm not stopping
I'll give it
you.
to Lulu because, underage drinking, and it's freaking hilarious every single time because for some odd reason I keep getting that image of Becca trying to get into his afterlife every single time, and it turns out to be guns drawn at the end every fucking time. So I associate that scene with what was
Lou
going on. So I'm like,
100% has Rebecca vibes. Yep.
She does.
A little bit, yeah.
I bring that into the character a little bit.
Yeah.
It's an intentional callback to that character a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait, like every time she's dancing, imagine Becca.
Yeah. Pigtails and everything.
100%.
100%. All right. Well, role played in character all of the time, often effectively. I think that would suffice for our role player, which I believe was 2 votes Slideye, 1 vote Lou. So
Yep.
Slideye, you get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes the improvement point section of the session for tonight. And, well, we've got a couple of streamers who are a part of our cast. So Raven, why don't you do a little bit of shilling?
Caught me on an off day. Yeah, I do a little bit of mostly everything, kind of. Bit of gaming, bit of photography editing. Mostly gaming right now because I haven't been able to get out and shoot. But stream off and on throughout the week, usually with Dead by Daylight. Usually on the receiving end of some sort of, death sentence in that game. So,
Often the victim of the killers in Dead by Daylight.
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be like that, though.
it do.
It do. And where can we find you?
You can find me over, actually here on Twitch at Raven_Star. Usually,
Yep.
yeah, RAY. I've got to be fancy with it.
Yes, you do. Quite fancy, indeed. Fantastic. And, Derek, why don't you show a little bit for your channel?
Hi, I'm MacabreDerek. I do nothing. Don't worry about me.
Fucking liar. Fucking liar.
Don't make us do it for you, because we will.
Oh, okay. My name's MacabreDerek. I do a little bit of TTRPG stuff on Sundays, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday I end up doing a lot of art as well as off-stream commissions and that kind of stuff. You can end up catching me typically at around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, going anywhere from 5 to 8 hours depending on the night. And sometimes we even do the Vigima games, where I end up deciding to end up, much to my chagrin, playing a little bit of Dead by Daylight.
That's
I don't know why I do this to myself.
Often
I hate
as
myself,
killer.
clearly. This is me enacting some form of penance upon myself, because for those who don't know, Dead by Daylight at 3 a.m. is its own animal.
Mm.
It is.
And not one I want to expose anybody to the human from the human race towards.
I swear from like 2 a.m. to like 6 a.m. it's its own fucking creature.
Right,
It's
right.
weird.
I'm never up that late, so dude, I'll have to take your word for it. But you can also thank Derek for the player character art for this game too, as he did the lovely portraits of Loup, Slideye, Trix, Orvin, who was a former character, and Requiem. So all of the art is fantastic. I love Derek's art so much. But yeah, lots of stuff going on your channel, and of course here at CoffeeCat Presents, you can find us on basically all the social medias at CoffeeCat Presents. Here on Twitch is where we do everything live. We've recently been posting clips and things like that on TikTok, Instagram, double posts to Facebook, all of those things. So whatever your favorite social media is, be sure to follow us on there, and do things live here on Twitch, and of course save all of the VODs on YouTube, where also I post all of the shorts, all of the clips as shorts, so go and give those a watch. It's definitely been doing some good engagement on the YouTube, so keep it up. Let's do it. Let's keep going. And thanks to Raven for being the editor and the clip maker here on Twitch, because damn if I don't have time to do it.
Guys, you can make clips while we're live. I hope y'all know this. Please do so.
Please. I want.
We want the funny stuff. Come on, give it to us.
Yes. Because maybe one day we'll actually make clip comps and actually like put together a channel trailer. Oh no. But yeah. Thanks to my players for being such great players, and to our lovely audience here on Twitch for being the ones who watch live and interacting in chat. You are fabulous and amazing. So, with that being said, I think we're going to find somebody to raid. Hopefully, there's maybe not a whole lot of people out right now as far as what I follow, but we'll find somebody to kind of do the CoffeeCat pounce on, and then we'll be back on Saturday for more D&D, where Spectre Deflector, my lovely bestie, takes care of the DMing for the time being. So come back on Saturday for that. But until then, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.